So this mini Rex was a rescue and is severely neglected. Her nails are so long that it's making it hard for her, making it hard for her to keep her feet flat on the cage floor. Even though we put resting mats in, it's still super uncomfortable for her. So we're going to do a video on how to trim these nails, and these darker nails can be a bit tricky. So Laura, go ahead and show us.
Every time I trim nails, I like to have this right at my hand. It's called styptic powder, and it does exactly what it says it does. It stops the bleeding. Sometimes if you get a nail too short, it will bleed and won't stop. But if you sprinkle a little bit of this on the nail that is bleeding, it will stop the bleeding. And it's very easy to do, especially when you're trimming black nails. It's very hard to see the quick. It's a lot easier if they have clear nails, but these dark ones are a bit tricky. So you always want to be careful. I always open this up and have this at the ready. So when I trim nails, I get the rabbit and I put her in my elbow there. And then I start to trim. If you get a rescue rabbit and you haven't handled her much before, this is a good way to have her safe and be able to have the control to trim her nails without scaring her. I don't like to take too much for the first cutting because it looks like it's been a long time since these have been trimmed.
Yeah, so they look really bad.
There's 4 here, and then there's a dew claw down here. These are sometimes really hard to... So I'm just gonna nick it, but I see even sore hawks have started on her back feet here. So
Is that maybe a contributor from the long claws,
yep,
that she can't put her feet flat?
Yep. Yep, that's exactly what it is. She's doing really good. Normally when you trim a rabbit's nails and they've never had them done before, it can be a pretty scary thing. So just a tiny bit off the tip. Those are 2 things in rabbits that never stop growing: their teeth and their nails. So it is important to always go through and check their nails. It's amazing how fast they grow. So she's all done. She did really good. But this right paw is kind of deformed. It has a curvature in it, and it should lay flat. It should be flat. So we'll just do the best we can and get her all fixed up. And I didn't have to use the styptic powder.
So let's show what you would do if you did need to use it.
So I would just take a little pinch in my hand or sprinkle it in the top of the lid, and you'd want to put it right where the nail is having the bleeding, just like that. And it'll adhere to it, and it will actually clot the blood. It will stop that bleeding right away.
So styptic powder and a good trimmer, and then cradle the rabbit like a baby.
Yep.
And take your time and don't cut too much.
Right.
And if you do, have styptic powder at the ready.
And you can always buy that styptic powder at any feed store. We'll have that. You can also order that online. But you definitely want to have it anytime you're trimming nails. Not even just for rabbits, but even for dog and cat nails.
Okay.